Hey, it's Ben here from Performer again. We're doing our Warmoth build and I want to give you a quick tip on some of the tools that you might need that nobody ever tells you about before you get started. So when I got started, I made a big long list of stuff I needed, consulted a bunch of forums, found out I needed some additional stuff. So we'll take a look at some of the things that you'll need that you might not think of. This is a soldering iron. Obviously you're going to need this if you're installing pickups and electronics. You might have thought of that. But what you probably don't know is what kind of soldering iron you need. We picked this up from Home Depot on the cheap. It was about 20 bucks. You want a 40 watt consumer grade soldering iron. Don't get anything lower, it's not going to heat up your parts well. Don't get anything hotter, it's going to burn your potentiometers. You don't want that to happen. 40 watts. As far as the solder goes, there's a lot of different kinds. We recommend the 60-40 blend, rosin core. Try to get lead free because you don't want to be breathing that in. One spool like this should do you for a normal project. Remember, your solder joints are going to be small. It's just going to be a little glob. You're probably going to do maybe half a dozen on a typical build. We're doing a Jazzmaster, so we have a little bit more intricate wiring, but even still, this will pretty much cover an entire wiring job. Now here's some stuff that nobody ever tells you to get. These are deep sockets. You don't really need a socket wrench, but there are 3 sizes that I definitely recommend that are going to help you out with your standard jacks and your tuning pegs. Anything that has a nut that's hard to get to with a standard set of pliers or a wrench or even your fingers to finger tighten, we recommend these 3 sizes. This is a 10 millimeter. This is great for pegs. This is a 7/16, and this is a 1/2 inch. The 1/2 inch is perfect for your output jacks. So instead of trying to finagle something with a set of pliers or your fingers or a wrench or something, this will fit right over any socket. You can hand tighten it. Like I said, you don't really need a socket wrench. You'll be good to go. 1/2 inch, 10 millimeter, 7/16. These are the 3 sizes that I recommend you get. Will save you a ton of time, save your hands. You'll be good to go. And last but not least, you're going to need to drill some pilot holes. I'm assuming you have a power drill. We have a really nice Black & Decker handheld cordless drill. It will work fine for most applications, but you will need a couple of bits that nobody ever tells you about. When you're drilling into a hard wood, most of your Strat, Tele, Jazzmaster builds will be a harder type of wood. You're going to have to drill a pilot hole. The diameter of the screw that you ultimately want to fill that hole. Not counting the outside threads, you want the inside diameter of that screw to be the size of your pilot hole. And there's 2 typical sizes that you'll want to drill. You'll want a 1/16 bit. That's mostly for like the tiny little screws you need on tuning pegs, things like that. And then you're going to want a 5/64 bit. Now this is for your standard 4 sized Phillips head screw. Number 4 size Phillips head screw is pretty much going to be your pickguard screws, any pickup mounting ring screws, most standard screws that you'll be drilling pilot holes for on your guitar, like strap buttons. Those are all going to be Phillips size 4. So 5/64 into a hardwood is going to be the perfect size pilot hole to get those started. We recommend just picking up a whole set. This costs us about 8 bucks at Home Depot. It's got every single size you need, so you'll be good to go no matter what project you're doing. When you are drilling pilot holes, 2 quick tips. Number 1, when you drill, reverse the drill first, really slowly, where you want the hole. Mark it off with a little Sharpie and reverse the drill. What that's going to do is create a little pivot, a little divot, so when you actually start drilling the pilot hole in forward motion, it's got something to grip onto, and you're not just doing it freehand. So get that little divot in there. You can do it with a little nail if you want to. I like to just reverse the drill really quickly, get my divot, put it on forward, have a little something to grip onto. The second thing you want to do is mark off on the bit itself with maybe a little bit of masking tape or duct tape how far you want to drill. That way you're not drilling too deeply, you're not going through the guitar body or through the headstock. You want your pilot hole to be just about the length of the screw that's ultimately going into it. No more than that, no less than that, otherwise you're going to have a hard time getting it in there. So drill up until the piece of tape that you've marked off for the proper depth. You may want to wax the screws that are ultimately going into the guitar. A little candle wax will do it. Rub them ever so lightly. That'll help you get a nice smooth motion on in, and you'll be good to go. Hope you enjoyed this tip.